So today we'll be looking into Spark Shell. So let's look into what is Spark Shell first. So this Spark Shell is based on the Scala REPL. So what does this REPL stand for? It stands for read, eval, print and load. So this helps or allows the user to create Spark programs interactively and to also to submit work to the framework. So this will also help the user to access the Spark Shell by connecting to the master node using the SSH, and it also invokes the Spark Shell. So first we'll look into what is the objective of this Spark Shell or what does it aim to achieve. So this shell acts as an interface to access the operating system's service, and this Apache Spark will be shipped with an interactive shell which will help the user to be prompted with the interactive shell so that the user can run different commands to process the data. So this is an Apache Spark Shell commands guide with step-by-step list of basic Spark commands or operations which helps to interact with the Spark Shell. So this is the main objective of Spark Shell. So we'll look into the introduction. So before somebody starts, they should know how Spark could be installed. So the first thing is to install Apache Spark, and then after Spark installation, the user can create RDDs and perform various transformations and actions. For example, like filter, partitions, cache, count, collect, etc. So there are 6 steps to Apache Spark installation in a standard mode. So the first one is platform. The second one is software you need to install before installing Spark. The third one is installing Spark, and the fourth one is to start Spark services, and the fifth one is running sample Spark applications, and your sixth one is starting the Spark shell. So coming to this, so the softwares that you need to install before installing Spark, the first one is you should install Java, and the second one is to installing Scala. So how do you install Scala? You download Scala, untar the file and edit the bash RC file, and then you verify the Scala installation. And coming to installing Spark, you download the Spark, extract Spark tar, set up the environment for the required Spark. So there are 2 start Spark services here. So the first one is starting a cluster manually, and the second one is to check whether Spark daemons are working. So this is where you'll be able to see that a cluster has been started manually. Okay, so now we'll see how to create a new RDD. So the first step is to read file from local file system and create an RDD. And the second one is to create an RDD through parallelized collections. And the third one is from existing RDDs. So the number of items in the RDD, that helps to count the number of items available in the RDD. So these will count the items we need to call for an action. So the given command here is used. This command is used to create a new RDD. And the second one is filter operation. So the filter the RDD and it creates new RDD of items which contain word data flag to filter. So we need to call transformation filter, which will return a new RDD with subset of items. And the given command here is used for a filter operation. And the next one is transformation and action together. So for complex requirements, we can chain multiple operations together, like filter transformation and count action together. So for transformation and action together, this is the command that should be used. And to read the first item from the RDD, this is the command which is used to read the first item from the file. And this is the command to read the first 5 items from the file. So the before command was to read the first item from the file, and this command is to read a particular number of items. And for RDD partitions, this command can be used when an RDD is made of multiple partitions, and this helps to count the number of partitions. And this command here helps with to cache the file. That is, caching is the optimization technique. So once we cache the RDD in the memory, all the future computation will work on the in-memory data, which saves disk seeks and helps in improving the performance. So the next one is, this is how you write a program to word count. How to count the number of words in a program. Okay, so here the common used operation is map reduce. So they use map reduce to count all the words in the available or in the given file. And once it's done, it reads the result on the console and it will display. And you can see here the take given here is 5. So it will display the first 5 results alone. And this command is used to write the data to HDFS file. So the next one is platform. So the requirements here, the first thing is platform requirements. And the second one is to configure and to set a platform. So if you are using, if the user is using Windows or Mac operating system, they can create a virtual machine and uninstall Ubuntu using the VMware player, or the user can create a virtual machine and install Ubuntu using Oracle VirtualBox. So these are some of the Spark Shell key points that one should remember. So the first one is Spark Shell is referred as REPL. As we all know, it's a read, eval, print loop, which is used to quickly test Spark or PySpark statements. And the second one is that the Spark Shell supports only Scala, Python, and R. That is, Java might be supported in previous versions. And the third one is that the Spark Shell command is used to launch Spark with Scala shell. That is, the user has covered this in detail. Okay, so if the user wants to, if somebody wants to take a look into it, they can refer other articles too. And also that the PySpark command is used to launch Spark with Python shell, which is also called PySpark. And the Spark command, SparkR command, is used to launch Spark with R language. And also in Spark shell, Spark by default provides Spark and other variables. So Spark is an object of Spark session and SE is an object of Spark context. And in shell, you cannot create your own Spark context. So these are some of the key points to remember. So these are some of the commands that are used in Spark Shell. You can see, like, for completion, for editing, for help, history. There are many other different commands which are listed out. And the end conclusion here is that anybody who gets to learn or knows about Spark Shell would be able to conclude that by using Spark Shell commands, the user will be able to create RDD in 3 ways. That is, read from RDD and partition RDD. And the user can also cache the file, read and write data from and to HDFS file, and perform various operations on the data using the Apache Spark Shell commands.